Welcome back to part 3 of Black Sky's reviews for the new Joytoy Fear 4 Long Range Sniper Mech. In part 3, we're going to be taking a look at putting all the gear on the mech itself, all the armor and soft goods, and whatever else we have in the box. So we're going to start with the lower part of the mech, which would be the legs. As you can see here, that I went ahead and put one side on to save us some time. And overall, this is what it's going to look like when we're finished. So, it's not hard, I must say. Compared to the other 3 mechs that we've taken a look at, they are very time consuming because of the little connectors and everything. But, fortunately, this guy here, it went with more of a Velcro system, so it wasn't as bad. So we're going to start off with the upper thigh part. You're going to need to find this part. So as you can see here, I can tell which one's which. The 9 goes on this side, and this is the plain side of the actual piece itself. So we're going to want to have this part down and have these little white squares towards the bottom. So what you have to do is you actually come in here, you got to disconnect these little connectors here. Now it's very, very small. So you got to get in there with maybe some fingernails or a tool. See if we can separate them. And that's what that looks like. And it's actually not that bad once you can get in there and pull them apart. Like so. Okay, so you want to make sure that these are actually tucked under here, under this sewed part. And then we're going to separate the Velcroed piece here. Here's inside here. You see this little piece of plastic protruding through the soft goods. You're going to make sure that's sitting right on this little hip piece here. And I must say, that really helps to hold that in place. Compared to the other mechs, these parts don't come off as easily. As you can see, that piece went right in there. It's pretty much fits. You have to give this a lot of pull to get it wrapped around. I recommend laying it down and doing this. So I'm gonna give you an idea. So that's kind of how it works. But I recommend laying it down and then pulling it tight, and then you'll get a more secured piece like that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back and reconnect the connectors. Okay, now you can see here there's pretty well barely any gap between the 2 Velcro pieces, and you can go ahead and just flop your connector back over and go ahead and reinsert your connector together. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do because this is very small, and if you don't hit it just perfectly, then it kind of misses it. I may have to do this outside the camera because small as these things are. Oh, I got that one. And that's how that one connects like that. Let's see if we can get lucky on this one. And we do. And that's how those connect back together. So actually it's very, very easy. You can actually pull on these a little bit if you like. It's very easy compared to the other mechs. You can see how, one second here, mech's falling over. You can see how these little pieces here cover up that piece. So it's pretty good. So that's how that looks so far. So you're going to want to find this piece. I kind of thought I was missing these, and here they were attached to the side of the mech. So these are the knee pads. So if you're missing these, look on the side of the interior of this waist. They were both stuck on each side, so you necessarily didn't lose them. So they pretty much have this piece already assembled. This is pretty much Velcroed on. You're going to have to separate. This is kind of the old school piece they have left here, how they used to do it. You have to separate these 2 connector pieces, and then I repositioned mine to where it's like the Velcro piece is at the very tip of these. That'll give me my maximum length for the strap to wrap around his knee. And then on the back here, it's pretty well self-explanatory. I just try to get mine as close to the top to give me my maximum length of strap. So this, this is only just going to hold it on. This is this little connector. So that's in preparation for our next step. So just have that ready. And then you're going to locate this piece because you're going to want to put this underneath of the knee pad. So what you're going to want to do, you may have noticed here on this piece here, you have to raise this all the way up and then this little piece right there up, because you can see here on this one how that strap, the bottom strap goes underneath of this little one, and then the top piece goes between the big one and a little flap there. So it's a little, this is probably the little tricky piece, because again, it's easier to lay it down, and you're going to want to have this piece towards the top, because you'll have your knee pad that goes over top of it like so. But so we'll just go ahead and get them on the front, and then we're going to go ahead and just do like this. And then on the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video because I can't do it through the camera or him standing there, because these keeps on to falling over. So you'll have to lay him down to do it, and I really don't have the camera stand to accommodate what I'm trying to do here. So I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I went ahead and applied this front piece. As you can see here, your top piece is just going to be under this piece, so you can bring that down. And then your bottom piece, you're going to want to have it just above this little joint, and then have this piece protruding through the top so you can push it down on both sides. And of course, you still have the ability to put that, pretty much anywhere you want for visuals. You can put it all the way down. You can have it sticking out, sticking up, and the same for the little one also. However you like it aesthetically. Really, really cool. So that was, like I said, that's very easy compared to most mechs. Because this is more, his knee pad's more of the actual, previous version, where just the connectors holding the pieces on. You're just going to come around here and connect these two pieces together like so. It could be a little bit fiddly. This is one of the main reasons it takes so long for Fear 1, 2, and 3, because you have to do this to every piece and then adjust the connectors length of the strap, which can be very time consuming and very frustrating sometimes. So I'm trying to get this through to the camera, and it's very tough, but you kind of get the idea what I'm going for here. Can we get it? Somewhat there. I'll go ahead and do this outside the camera also when we're back. Okay, so I got that connected. And all you have to do is just make sure it's sitting on the back and come around the front. You can see how it sits over the front of the knee. But these are nice and tight compared to the other mechs I've actually had my hands on. So the Velcro system is definitely an improvement to, for the soft goods. I mean, it's a soft good, so it's got to be something, but I think they found a little better than just, the strap system. But pretty cool. So that's pretty much it for the lower level of the Mech. It's pretty much straightforward. We're going to move up. We're going to work on the arm, and it's actually easier than the legs. And let's get started. Okay, here we are up top here with the arm. Like I said, I went ahead and put one side on to save us some time in the video. This is what it looks like. Pretty cool. So I started with the top piece, which you're going to find this piece here. You're going to have this piece at the top and this slit piece here at the bottom of the arm. So go ahead and put this one back down. And we're basically going to put it right around the top of the arm, just below this round joint. So what we want to do is just go ahead and separate these two pieces, get our orientation, which is like this. And then we're going to basically put that on here and wrap this around. And that's as easy as pie right there. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten it up, because if you lay it down, you can get a little more of a tightness on it. And then or put on the forearm piece. Okay, for the forearm piece, you're going to want to find this piece. So you're going to want to have the smaller end at the bottom, and this is towards the top of the arm. Then you have to come around here and separate the two individual pieces, like so. And then you're going to cover up this entire large piece here. This is going to get a little bit of a tricky part because of the overall tightness. But it's kind of just like so. You're going to want to make sure to keep your armor on the side of the arm. But it's just as easy as that. Now mine isn't tight as I would like it, but I'm going to fix it off camera. But that's just to show you how that goes on. And it should fit between just above the round cylinder of his wrist. And then you can see the joint in his elbow. Okay, so there's his armor on his arms. Now, this piece is kind of flexible, so you can move it up and down. These connectors on here are just for overall appearance, because they're really connected nothing. It's glued on, I guess. But that's what his upper body looks like. His arms. It's pretty cool. Now, there's different ways to do this. I'm trying to do it as easy as possible, so you don't have to keep removing parts or having parts in a way. So we're going to skip to part of the ghillie suit, and because it'll be more on the interior part of the mech than the outside. So what I mean by that is you have this piece just kind of tucked into the hood. You kind of got to roll it up, the best I can tell. And this is basically going to be wrapped around his head, on his neck, I should say, and fill in the gap a lot. So we're going to go ahead and pull his head up. I'm guessing there's no perfect way to do this. It's just however you see fit. I'm trying to think the best. I want mine to have the best appearance as possible. So and you're just going to get in there, and this is probably definitely going to hinder your articulation. There seems to be a lot of material here that but you got to get it down behind the head, under the neck. And basically you can just put this however you see fit, however you want to, how much you want to be seen versus not to be seen. And then push your head back down. Then you got to actually, make it work for you. Kind of like that. So you want like a little bit, maybe a little bit showing, maybe not. That's completely up to you on how much you have hanging out, how much you want to hide the head of your mech. It looks pretty cool though. A little bit here. Maybe you can adjust it as we get the rest of the parts on. But that's kind of how that's supposed to look in a sense for that piece. Now I guess the next part is probably the hood. So obviously this is the top. Now I kind of was playing around with this. You have the Velcro right here around the bottom of the hood. There's nothing on the top, so you can So you have these little pieces of Velcro here on the sides, like this. Now if you wanted a big open hood, you basically could just come down, try to get behind the head, take those two Velcro pieces, you know, work your way around the head, and put them on the side here, if you would like that. If you want that more of an open headed look, I guess. Of course, you can fine tune it. You don't have to shape it the way you see fit. Or you basically have seen, you wanted a tighter fit, you've got to get that head out of the way. Tuck this down behind. Put that head back. And you're going to bring these pieces down to the front, or up around the head and down to the front, and try to get them to Velcro pieced to the actual mech itself. Something like this to keep it in place. So I'm going to try to fine tune that off camera, and I'll be right back. Like I said, getting this to a position that you like, it's basically going to be on you on your overall aesthetics, but that doesn't look too bad, I guess. I got down behind the head. Problem is, all the Velcro on the bottom of the hood gets caught on that ghillie suit that we just wrapped around his neck, so it makes it very difficult to get it to tuck down behind the head there. But we can, it's a work in progress, I guess, as we move forward. Now we have the next piece. We kind of, is going to be his chest armor like this. And it's basically just going to be Velcro on. You find where you want it at here at the top. And then you just get a hold of him and press the Velcro onto his vest. Like so. And that's how that looks. It doesn't stay as, I think they needed more surface area for the Velcro, but it's not too bad. So next piece, we're going to have those ammo pouches that has those extra large clips in. And we're going to put them on his stomach. So basically what I'm going to do is to get it to wrap around like this. It's my intent. So I'm going to grab the middle one. I'm going to try to get most of my pressure here. And then I'm going to push the other two on the sides. Yeah, I was trying to go for more of a kind of very staggered, wrapped around look. I'm not sure if I got it, but I don't think it looks too bad. So that's not bad. I like it. Okay, so for our last piece, can be kind of a pain, I think. So you're going to get two of these. This is basically the overall ghillie suit. So you have this side, and then this side with the torn material like this. So you're going to have this side as like a triangle. The best that I can tell. The reason that is, they have these little connectors on there. So you have one there, there. So you have 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and then none on these sides here, on the bottom of the triangle. The reason that is because you want to give you the ability to kind of put it however you want, because you can have it totally cover the entire mech, have maybe a piece covered around the cockpit, have the front covered, but how they have it, from best that I can tell, which is the instructions ain't very straightforward, you're going to attach the very corner one to the hood, which if you do it, in my opinion, correctly, it'll give you that bowed look here. So I think you're going to want to get like maybe here, and then on the strap, you're just going to go ahead and clip that over on the holes, and it should help hold that down. And by doing that, that's going to give you options for the front here, and on the back of this section here. Wait a second, I can't get a hold of it. And see the clips are here, so you can connect with the other side to hide your mech. But if that, and then on the bottom here, it doesn't have any here, and on the back side, there's no clips because you want your ghillie suit to hang. So we're going to try to do the other one. That's kind of how that looks. See if I can get the right position here. Sometimes this little all your material moves around a lot. So here's my other one. And I'm going to try to get it around the same place here and clip it through one of the holes or on that little tab, and you can bring him around, and then you have basically your mech. If I knock my camera over, all geared up, ready for some spying, some taking on a mission, you know, to do his business basically. And like I said, you can utilize these clips here, and you can tie them together, hide your mech, and then obviously you can spin him around. You can see his cockpit's kind of open, and you can utilize these clips like this. And then, thought I had it. It's hard to see through the camera. These clips are so small. If you guys have any of these mechs, you probably understand. Yeah, well, anyway, you get the idea. Yeah, that stuff is very challenging. Oh, okay, but you get the idea. You come across here, you can connect and hide the mech. Not going to keep wasting a lot of time on trying to get it to fasten when it's obvious it does. So, okay. Yeah, so he looks really cool. Not sure the overall application of a sniper mech, so to speak, because, like, you know, these things technically huge compared to the 1/18 scale figures. Not sure how you can creep around without being seen, regardless of your ghillie suit or your skill level. Overall, pretty cool looking mech. I love the soft goods. I mean, that's incredible. I don't know where else you can get, you know, soft goods at 1/18 scale like this. And this high kind of detail and craftsmanship, I guess. So this has been part 3. It'll be one more part of our mini-series. It'll be the review for the pilot, which is, she looks to be a very, very cool figure. So if you guys want to check that out, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on the last part of our mini-series here for Joytoy Sphere 4 mech, the long-range sniper. And it wasn't, I must say, it was easier. I mean, the other mechs, it took almost over an hour to get the armor on. This guy probably took me an average of 15 minutes at the most. Straight timing it, basically. So it's definitely it changed from what you're used to seeing from Fear 1, 2, and 3. But it's pretty cool. Nice addition to your display. So hope you guys enjoyed this review and it helped you out on any questions you may have on assembling your mech's armor and accessories. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up for me. I really appreciate that. And don't forget to comment down below and share the video if you would like. I'd really appreciate that also. Thanks for watching. We will see you in part 4. And have a good day.